In the past 6 months, 2 of the top medical journals in the world, The Lancet and the New England Journal of Medicine, produced openly fraudulent studies that benefited Big Pharma. The Lancet did their study that dismissed hydroxychloroquine as dangerous, which was retracted just two weeks later. New England Journal of Medicine put out a study that benefited cardiovascular drugs, pharmaceuticals. That was also retracted. Now for studies published in these top medical journals that had this much impact on global health policies and treatments to be retracted for fraudulent data is really unprecedented. It's not just publishing fraudulent data, but they're blocking data that doesn't fit their narrative. Right? How many journals have you seen a hydroxychloroquine article that is really supportive of it been in a top journal? They often won't accept it. I've talked to a number of researchers that complain about this, where the science is there, the evidence is there, but the journal won't publish it. But it's not just hydroxychloroquine. It actually goes into even evidence for lockdowns and herd immunity. There's a great article that was written by a biomathematician, along with her colleagues, where it basically took a look at through a mathematical model on why so many regions of the world had about 20% infected based on antibody testing, and then deaths begin to decline. And in any of those areas that really hit that 20% mark, we've yet to see deaths even come close to their previous peak. And this is for Lombardy, New York City, London, Madrid, even in the US at a whole different time, so not March and April, but Florida, in some of the major areas. Once the antibody testing hit about 20%, we saw deaths begin to decline. And they've yet to ever reach that number again. She wrote this article that included all this, and it wasn't published in any academic journal. She had to release it as a preprint, which means it's not essentially peer-reviewed because they all rejected it. And she was fairly transparent with why they rejected it. She actually provided a quote from one of the academic journals saying why the article wasn't accepted. And it's basically this, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was this article that will give people the idea that they can go out into the world with less caution. All right? God forbid. And so we have these academic journals who are supposed to be the gatekeepers to science, who are producing fraudulent data that fits their narrative and then censoring or stopping any content. And this is an academic journal where it should be for the search of truth in science regardless of public opinion. It should not be in their minds like, oh, well, how will the public perceive this? This is supposed to be the one place where you can actually look at true science. I'm wrapping up here, but I want to talk for just a couple minutes on the mainstream media's role in this pandemic. And we've all seen the large role they've played. Mainstream media, along with the academic journals, receives a substantial amount of money through advertising and sponsorships with big pharmaceutical companies. So it makes sense that they're going along with this narrative. The waters are kind of muddied a bit with politics given the election year as well. But what we're seeing with the mainstream media is really either something that was never noticed before or is kind of unprecedented degree of corruption where they're literally rewriting history.